Empty the chamber on them. And how do you do that? First 6 seconds, point A to point B, everything you got. Everything you got. Turn that shit up. Let's go.
Welcome to the Scoop World Order, kind of emergency, humongous, gigantic franchise type commitment edition. Today's a big day. It's a random day, but here we are, and we're about to get a massive add to Ohio State's future today in Dylan Raiola. So we're going to get right into that. This will be kind of a quick one, but we just kind of review what we're getting, the goods we're getting with the ultra talented Dylan Raiola joining the fold. So as always, thankful for you guys. Please like, subscribe. Everything you guys do, it all adds up. It helps us catch that wave that is the algorithm for YouTube, and it makes us really catch fire. And it's fun because the growth is directly because of you guys. So thank you guys so much. We appreciate you, Buckeye Nation and Scoop family. You guys are the best. So we're gonna jump right into this. I'm just gonna let this film roll a little bit. So Dylan Raiola. Obviously, NFL bloodlines. His dad was a longtime player in the NFL, a fantastic center in the NFL. Is a kid that kind of jumped onto the scene recently. He first visited Ohio State late last year for one of the late games. I don't know if it was Michigan State or Purdue. And for a lot of people, most people, in fact, thought Jaden Davis was going to be the quarterback in this class, but Dylan has had an absolutely insane rise to be the number one rated player in both 247 and on threes rankings. He is an absolute phenom, prototypical size. He's about 6'3" and he is a big strapped up dude, outstanding athlete, very much pro style, pro ready, about as perfect of a fit for Ryan Day's offense as you could imagine. Again, he moved out to Chandler, Arizona, to an absolute powerhouse of a program from Texas. But it's been an interesting one. This thing went from 0 to 100 in a couple of months, and people it culminated at the spring game where Ryan Day and Corey Dennis basically told Jaden Davis that Dylan's our guy and you can stay home and thanks for playing. But and Dylan basically gave them their word. So it's been an unbelievable rise. I'm so excited about this kid because he is an absolute freak show of a talent. Amazing touch, amazing ability, and he's only getting better. He's only going to be a junior in high school this year, so he has a huge upside. He has a lot of growth coming in the next couple of years. Then once he keeps working with Ryan, Drew Stanton, longtime NFL player, was a Detroit Lion for a long time. Actually played for the Browns. For some of you Browns fans, was on the Hard Knocks where they had Tyrod Taylor and Baker Mayfield. He was the number 3 quarterback there. He's his personal quarterback coach, and I think that there's a really good synergy and a good respect between Ryan Day, Corey Dennis, and Drew Stanton, where I think that they could really work together and continually develop Dylan to do the things that Ohio State wants to do. Again, this starts an absolute dart. I mean, this is one of those silly ones where I got to rewind it, and they run like a little bootleg. The guard doesn't have anyone on the block, so he kind of veers back here, as you can see. And this is an off-platform, under pressure guy. Guys, getting ready to hit him. Getting out of the way of his O lineman, off 1 foot, and just slings it across the field and drops it right in the bucket. So that is rare ability and rare talent right there. Again, just so excited to see this kid and what we'll be able to do with him with Ryan Day's offense, with our with our explosive receivers that we keep bringing in. I mean, we don't know. Obviously he's only a junior, so we've got a couple years before he actually gets to campus. He's class of 2024, but the way that Brian Hartline recruits that receiving room, that we're going to have a lot of talent in there. It just keeps compounding. The South Florida Express kids, obviously, they're all heavy leans. We're probably going to get all of their skill guys. We already got Fletcher, but Tate Ennis, JoJo Trader, they all want to come to Ohio State just because they see how these kids are getting developed and how they're getting drafted in the first round after 3 years, which is what all their goals are. And to throw Dylan Raiola on top of it, and so you're going to have a superstar franchise quarterback with Ryan Day coaching him and Corey Dennis coaching him, and then you have Brian Hartline coaching the receivers. It's kind of a no-brainer as to where you want to go if you're the franchise guy. So it's really an interesting mix right now. I'm super excited about this kid. It and it's really weird how, in recruiting, a lot of these kids like to wait around and kind of play games and and wait till the right moment. But this was a situation where if Jaden Davis goes to commit last summer, he might be our quarterback, and Dylan might not have. There might not have been room at the end. Now I know we've worked to keep put two kids in the class, and we did that with Miller and Stroud, and we've done that with Smith and Zwick. We've done that in the past, but as when you do that, generally you're going to lose at least one, and you might even lose both. If you do it too early, because CJ Stroud was a very late commitment in the recruiting process. But if he commits early enough, then and Miller has enough time to flip around and look, then I mean he might not have ever made it to campus. Now, obviously, he transferred to Florida. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with the 2023 quarterback, because I'm not sure if they'll take one. I mean, obviously, they might take a project type kid, but you're not going to get a showstopper type kid when you've got Dylan Raiola coming in the next year, and you've already got a pretty crowded depth chart with Devin Brown, Kyle McCord. But yeah, it's going to be fascinating. The quarterback recruiting is just a different beast because there's only one guy that gets to play. It's kind of like it's one of those positions like kicker, like offensive line, where there's not a rotation. Like, I mean, ideally you want to settle on a starter and that's your guy. Like when you don't really have a guy is when you've got to rotate two or three guys, and it's just not really that fun. So, but no, I watching Dylan's film is just so impressive. And again, his level of competition is going to go up at Chandler this year, but this is still big time ball that he's playing in. And this is him as a sophomore, which is just absolutely scary. Because again, he's going to be bigger. He's going to have a full year of strength training and quarterback training going into this year, and you're going to see, I'm sure, a massive jump. Working with Drew Stanton every day, it's going to be something else. But yeah, for a sophomore to be making throws like this in this kind of ball is and they're not all clean pockets. He's got to make some stuff where he's got to be off platform, which is always fun to see because you don't always have a perfect pocket when you play against good teams in the Big Ten, and even more so in the NFL. But yeah, I'm just excited about this kid. I think that today's going to be a great day, just a randomly great Monday to be an Ohio State fan, to be on BuckeyeScoop.com, and I could watch these highlights basically all day. But I just want to do a little quick shot. Again, you see the talent, you see the arm, you see the throws, and it's going to be exciting to see him in Ryan Day's offense because a lot of this looks a lot schematically about like what we do. So he's already kind of he's in tune to the gun. If you got to go do some of the hurry up, some of the no huddle stuff. Haven't seen any under center stuff, which is something that Ryan has started to do, which I think is genius because I think that is a great recruiting tool when you show how much we go under center compared to a lot of programs, because most programs don't go under center at all. And he's really manufactured some looks, especially out of two tight ends, or when we put Mitch Rossi at fullback, where you manufacture some under center snaps that look like old school NFL football. And I think there's an under center shot. There you go. So, play action, boot, wide open. Like, when you can just make sure the kid can take a snap, because, the under center snap is kind of like going the way of the dinosaurs right now, where most kids are never under center. And you make sure he can read a defense from a 3, 5, or 7 step drop as an under center quarterback, which again, the more teams are going shotgun, spread, it's just not something that you see as much anymore. But it's good to see Dylan under center a little bit. And again, Ryan, he makes it a point to really run an NFL style offense, throw game. So that's it's something it's exciting, and this is some amazing tape. But Dylan, and it'll be scary because I mean he'll come to camp this year and he'll probably be significantly bigger. I'm sure he'll be much stronger. And he's got a bond already with the South Florida Express kids. Like that's one of the really unique things about when these kids link up on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, and then they go see each other and they actually meet each other in person at like an official visit. They develop these bonds and these friendships, and they start kind of these grand plans of, hey, let's make a super team, let's all commit somewhere, and and do it together. And that doesn't always work out. Obviously there's some kids that'll go elsewhere, and there's some kids that'll get there and they'll transfer out. But if you get a good core of 4 or 5 guys that are really talented dudes and they stick together and they all go somewhere like Ohio State, and they're kids from Arizona and Miami and Pompano Beach, and I think it's kind of one of the unique things about modern recruiting is that these kids, um, they have access to each other. And in the olden days, like say, when I was coming out in '03, I outside of getting someone's cell phone number, which I didn't have a cell phone in high school, like I don't know how I'd reach a lot of these guys. Maybe like old school AOL Messenger or something. But until you meet them in person, you don't even know how to reach these guys because you didn't have social media platforms, you didn't have Instagram, you didn't have Twitter and Facebook, where all these guys are accessible to everybody basically. So, but I'm again, kid, it's amazing. This kid he's a 15-year-old here, but this is going to be a special day. So, just want to knock this out real quick. I'm going to pause the tape and I'm going to cut it so I can get this thing up. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for tuning into this. This is a bit of an emergency SWO because we are really excited about this kid. So we're going to watch a little bit of his film so you guys knew why we were excited about this kid, because he is a freak show. He is a franchise first round type quarterback, and that is why he's coming to Ohio State, is because he wants to be developed into that next first round quarterback. Ryan Day has an amazing streak of Dwayne Haskins, Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, consecutive starters that went in the top half of the first round. So I think this is a kid that can keep the torch going after CJ. So it is going to be here before we know it. He will be in the scarlet and gray before we know it. But today is a huge day for him, and we're just excited that we're gonna get Dylan Raiola in the fold today. So appreciate you guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. Go Bucks.